Yo, good morning.
Morning.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. How you doing?
What's up?
Not bad, man. Not too bad.
It's good.
Iris is napping. I didn't forget my coffee this time.
Nice.
Ray decided to grab some Krispy Kremes this morning. So,
Nice.
you know, I got to go back to bed, basically. Is John, God, what's up with the background?
He wishes.
Right. Praise be unto thee.
Yeah, you praying to yourself, John?
And his holiness.
This is my land of high rule.
High rule or high rule?
Ha.
Well done. And on that note, I think we call it a day.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
It's not going to get any better than that. So,
Cheers, boys. Hey,
Cheers.
Quick suggestion on coffee for those of you who drink it. Oat milk is the way to go for your coffee.
Oh, yeah.
If you want like a creamer, it's just the way to go.
because it's thicker. Right?
It's thicker, and it's, you're supposed to shake it, and it's like naturally foamy when you shake it. You don't need to, so it's like easy. It almost makes a latte for you, right?
Wow.
Yeah. I dig on the oat milk and soy milk for sure. Because of
Jordan
their
out here
thickness.
making himself oat milk lattes.
Dude,
That's good content.
I used to be
He's
about
so good about it, he just has to shake it. For a
Nice.
latte.
Well, right. I used to be all about the almond milk, and it's probably like my least favorite now.
I can't stand almond milk.
Not in coffee. Almond milk in coffee.
Yeah, no, it tastes like Play-Doh.
Yeah, it's real bad.
It's really weird. The combination they don't
Play-Doh.
work. Yeah, it tastes like
Yeah, it's too
Play-Doh
watery.
smells. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
no, I agree.
you always do that. Something tastes the way something smells. That's how you were with
Well,
tea.
It makes sense. It's
It does.
descriptive.
Tea tastes the way leaves smell. That's your line.
Yes,
That's true.
for sure.
That
It
is
That
definitely
is your
true.
line.
If you jumped into a pile of leaves and just
That's the same thing as drinking tea.
same thing. Same. Well, green tea.
Yeah,
So
green
next
tea.
time you're gonna drink tea,
Yeah.
just jump in a pile of leaves and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for sure.
Same health benefits too.
So you
Right.
discovered oat milk.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little while. You recommended it. I tried it kind of, I don't know, a couple months ago, but I didn't use it that much. I had tried it, but Ray started using it in her coffee consistently, and so I started doing it as well because we've got it at the house, and I was always making the mistake. You're supposed to shake it. I wasn't shaking it for the longest time. It's like it's a game changer. It's a game changer. You get like the nice foamy top, dude. It's where it's at. Shake
Wow.
your oat milk, people.
Right.
This
Primary takeaway.
right. For sure.
Shaking your oat milk will change your life.
That's it. Hey man, I have to 1 sec. We gotta pay respects to something real fast.
Mm.
The boy.
Oh, true.
Oh,
The boy.
Yeah. R.I.P. Man.
the big guy. Yeah. I was there. We went and checked him out the day before and hung out with him. And yeah, we just like we were on the floor when he got to the house.
Yeah.
Head to head, and
Yeah.
said, "What's up, boy?" And he kind of looked back at me and was like, "Meow." And Dad saw it. He was like, "Oh, it's like you were saying hey." So that was a nice moment.
Yeah, TT Slug, we lost a good one. Old
Poor
Leo.
Leo. Big boy Leo.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's one, I had dogs growing up and whatnot, and my own dogs now, and I guess being able to look back and fully know that you have no regrets about what their life was and what kind of you were able to provide them.
Yeah.
Because I think back, dude, I think about Chase and Jesse, right, John, our dogs we had growing up. And I think if I had Chase was like my dog, Jesse was John's, and then they had puppies, and Sam was the dog that my dad had, right? Chase and Jesse were over at our mom's. And I feel like if I had Chase, I think about it kind of regularly. If I had him now, like I would give that dog, I just would have had a different experience, right? I know,
Yeah.
like all of the shit that we dealt with those dogs running away and the nonsense and whatever, and obviously living on the other side of the country. So I think about that. I'm like, you know, I would have given that dog like such a different life now. And yeah, I mean, that's not something that you ever have to look back with Leo.
With Leo,
you know?
no,
that
homeboy
boy
had it. He had it made.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So,
He was king of the castle.
He had
Sure.
had a couch larger than all of the couches I've had put together,
Right.
and it was his couch. Big
Right,
L couch.
right. Yeah, I think. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up this picture real quick. This one.
Yep. That's a good one.
He's a big boy.
Yeah,
Big boy.
that's crazy. I remember when he was a puppy.
Yeah, dude. This one.
It's wild.
The puppy shot.
Look at
right?
that.
Yeah.
When Natalie was a puppy too.
Yep.
Now Natalie's like 6 feet tall.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, good dog.
Just lay in the snow.
Just
Yeah.
a good. Yeah, that was a dog when in the winter. Dad have
Yeah.
a fire going in the fireplace. And he'd be like, "What the
Yeah.
hell is wrong with you?" And he'd go out on the deck and lay in the snow.
He would just like pat at the sliding glass door. He would just be like, "All right, it's
Right.
way too hot."
I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need you to open this thing for sure. So yeah, man, good. You know, sorry, pops. I know that's a
Yeah,
super
it's
hard
tough.
loss. You know, recently lost Bagheera as well, my dog.
Yeah,
It's a rough pain, but yeah, that was something I was texting my dad just about it, and like it's crazy to think about. Like he made Bagheera look small when they were next to each other.
for sure.
Right.
He was huge.
Right, Bagheera's a 130-pound female
Panther.
Connie Corso,
Panther.
right,
Mm-hmm.
and looks small next to Leo. So crazy, but all right, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace and in power, big man. We will miss you.
Yeah, it's a big dog he was 10, right?
No,
10.
he was like 12 at least.
Oh, really? He was 12.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, I think they got him 2 years. He was born 2 years before mine, and Murdoch turned 9 in January. So,
wow.
he
Murdoch's
was
9.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
I know. You don't think about it because he acts like a freaking puppy, but
I know. I know, like a 200-pound puppy.
big guy laying behind me. Yep. Yeah, so they're 9. That's why I was always like, damn, how old is Leo? But yeah,
Think you'll ever get any other dogs?
Dad or me?
You.
I don't know. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, Ray and I talk about it. Which is like what a crazy answer coming from me, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have 30.
Yeah, the dog guy.
Dude, it's that I can't like cry on here right now, but thinking about Bagheera still.
Oh, you can
Yeah.
cry.
The only the only thing I can still see is that last day. It's like
Damn.
sucks. But yeah.
Yeah.
Old girl
Well,
behind me.
I feel like that's unfortunately death in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hold on to those last moments.
Well, it's such a
Well, and
powerful
it's-
experience too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just it's different. I guess it's a different experience from a human relative to the dog, at least in this circumstance. Same thing just happened with Leo. When they get to a point to where, so Bagheera had super aggressive bone cancer that literally came out of nowhere. She went from going on walks with us every day to unable to stand over a weekend.
Yeah.
So, they basically said that the tumor in her leg was going to keep growing and putting pressure on her leg, and eventually it was just going to break her leg bone. It's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait for that day.
Right. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Because then you'd have to rush her to the ER, and it would be traumatic for her. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just painful. And she couldn't, I mean, she literally couldn't walk. I had to, hold up her back legs while she pedaled on her front legs to go anywhere, like potty or whatever. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. So it's a difference because you're making the decision, right?
Right.
So
Right.
it's, I don't know, it's rough. And, yeah, I don't know. So I don't know. Ray and I have talked about what we would do in the future. I definitely won't get Corsos again in the future. I mean, I love my dogs so much, but it's just there's so much work, and it's not a. It's there's so much liability, and
Yeah.
if you don't put the time in, it's just not really worth it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll probably end up with one, I would imagine, because I still feel like I want like my dog that I can do a lot of training with and just have that kind of companion. But I don't
You
know.
gotta have your best friend.
Right. We'll see. So,
If only I could clone Magic.
dude, yeah, I'd take one.
Yeah. I know. I think everybody might take
I would
one.
definitely take me a Magic for sure.
He's the best.
Alex got the damn luckiest grab bag from a rescue dog ever.
Right.
Just a pit bull, which is, those dogs are naturally higher energy. They're terriers, so you generally see high energy. They want to get outside and do things and play, and they're, whatever. You've got a lot of things going on there. And this dog, Alex kid, I've seen it. Been at his house. He will come home, open the door. Most dogs are right on you, right? And you just hear Magic's tail on the bed in the other room. He doesn't even get out of bed.
He's like, well, this is mildly exciting.
Right. He's just a chill, cuddly, lovable dog who also, if you want to get up and roughhouse with him and play, will match you, right? Like, he's got it in him. It's just not...
Well, yeah, he's a murderous pit bull,
Right.
If only I could show you a picture of him right now. Just saddest face. Murderous.
Dude, speaking of pit bulls, that's something that's like a, I don't know, I want to say it's like a point of pride, but I'm very glad that, I don't know, I think that maybe I had somewhat of an influence on it, and maybe it was I planted a seed in Dad's mind. But anybody that knows our dad, TT Slug, you're here. He's a stubborn Greek man.
No,
it's his way or his way. And, so he had that perception of pit bulls, right?
Mhm.
Well, remember when Ray and I had Fred, stubborn as mild, right?
Right.
we fostered that pit bull shepherd mix, Fred. One of the coolest dogs, very intimidating looking dog.
Oh yeah,
Fred.
It's like
Fred.
a wolf.
The problem was the rescue, basically, they would take him to rescue events, and they had a sign on his cage. You can't get him out, you can't pet him, and you can't take him near other animals, and you can't take him near kids. I'm like, this dog is never going to get a home.
Ever. Nobody matches that criteria.
Nobody.
It's just wrapped up in caution tape.
Dude. Oh, yeah, so Alex, your dad, he met Fred for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, he came over to the house, yeah.
So I offered the rescue to take and foster Fred, and I train him and work with him and everything. But not only did the dog come with all these warnings, but this is one of the most intimidating looking dogs you'll ever see. Just pitch black, had the musculature of a pit bull, right? So he had the black head, super muscular body, sleek, but he had shepherd ears and muzzle. So he had this long, blocky head with perked ears and these orange eyes, dude.
Yeah, so cool.
Super cool dog, but damn, like this wasn't just the easy dog you take home, because he had some animal aggression. He had some, they said he was bad with kids, but that's probably just because they were scared. They didn't want something bad to happen. But anyway, Dad met Fred, right? And he brought Leo outside, and I wanted to see Fred's reaction to a big dog, because we had him around your dad's dog, Alex Murphy. Remember, they were playing. I had him with Copper.
Oh yeah.
The beagle mix
Oh
that
my
we had.
gosh, Copper.
So he was chill with smaller dogs,
Yeah.
and he went ham when he saw Leo. Nasty.
Yeah.
He got
Yeah.
really nasty, and Dad said
Pitbull
something.
aggression.
Yes, he looked at me. He was like, "Don't ever trust the pit bull." And now, Dad's almost dude. He's got a pit bull who is the sweetest dog ever. Absolutely loves John's daughter. That's like his best friend. Always been super great with any kid it's ever met. Only dog that in my life that knew Ray, my wife, was pregnant. When she was pregnant, he would follow her around the house, be very calm, followed her in the bathroom, like wouldn't leave her alone.
Yeah.
And Dad's about to fight people at what is it, Mr. Freeze in line, because people are giving him dirty looks for bringing his pit bull to the place. He's like, "You better turn your ass around."
Oh my gosh!
Wait, you said that to somebody?
He said something to that effect, yeah. Because they turned around, I think, and asked why they. I don't know if they asked him or if they were just saying it amongst themselves, like, "Why would you bring that here?" It's like
that
get that out of here.
Right. Like it's an AK-47 loaded.
Right.
Same thing, really.
Aiming it at someone.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. For sure. I'll not to spend this entire morning on dog duty. I got a magic picture. Hold on. Oh, this one's gonna be it, dude.
Yep. That's pretty much it. Vicious, murderous machine.
It's like,
dude, that's magic.
How many bouts of psilocybin did he have to go through to get over his that streak inside of him? You know,
Poppy.
Like, is he currently unconscious in that picture?
We just held his eyelids open with fishing line.
Dude.
Yeah,
that's also true. This line here, with Bentley, we took Asher over there to say bye to Leo.
Yeah,
and yeah, Bentley was perfectly fine the entire time.
Oh,
I mean, obviously he's got that. He's a little hype sometimes, but
yeah,
Asher was the one that was the problem for sure.
See if.
So yeah, I didn't know you had to microdose your dogs.
Yeah, right, dude. That
find
freaking
themselves,
picture, man. What is that?
Feel so comfortable to put on a Christmas shawl or whatever.
Dude, you don't understand how much he loves sweaters. We'll get a sweater.
Dude,
seriously,
I can't even.
We'll get a sweater out of the closet in the hallway. He'll hear us open it, and he'll get up off the couch. And
he doesn't get off the couch when you get home.
Dude, he's more excited for the sweater.
Closet.
And then he shoves his head into the sweater, like, "All right, get me in there." And then he just goes back to bed.
Dude, that is hilarious.
Yeah, there's something going on where dogs are becoming there's these other mutations that are even more domesticated.
Right.
So like we used to have a dog named Sammy who didn't respond at all to biological stimuli. He would just kind of like stand at the back door, like squirrels go by, just like
didn't care, dude.
Ducks, doesn't matter, dogs. But man, if a Kroger bag flew by, I swear to God, he would go nuts. Like, this dog wasn't worried about protecting his territory, or he wasn't curious about other animals, but littering. Dude.
He's like Smokey.
Off.
Plastic bag goes by, his brain's like, he's engaged.
$500 fine.
Jumping at the back door, like, what is this?
That's hilarious, dude.
He was a good dog.
So I'm gonna grab another coffee, and then you need to start thinking about the classic question of if you could have. I don't even know. Do we might need to even say if it was breakfast or lunch? Could be any of the meals.
Yeah, just
any
a meal.
Any meal.
Yeah.
Well, I want you to pick the meal too, though.
Brunch.
And then 3 people that you could, dead or alive, share that meal with. Other than us, obviously. Because
we're the obvious pick. Yeah.
There you go, TT Slug.
Oh, look at Sam.
Yeah, I mean that's the OG there.
That's the OG right there, man.
He's got the saddest eyes.
That was a perfect dog right there.
Yeah.
Didn't he pass away when you were in high school? Like
No,
senior year?
we were in. I would have been in. It was probably first year or between first and second year of college, because it was when I was at your grandma's house. When I got the call, I was over at your grandma Ruth's with Ray, and that was when she was staying in her spare bedroom, like between semesters over a summer or whatever. Yeah. Yep, dude. So many squirrel kills. You got it, dude. There was
he would catch squirrels.
Oh yeah, for sure, pretty frequently. We had our neighbor had an apple tree, right? And squirrels would go grab an apple, and they would come up into our yard on top of my swing set. You know, I'm a little kid at the time, so we had a swing set, and it'd sit up there, and like it's almost like they were taunting him on purpose. He's sitting right under him, like, ball. I did. Like, just
you got to get down sometime.
Dude, you slip once in your mind. And they're just up there eating in front of him. And they would do this all the time. And he definitely caught himself a few. There's no question.
Never get this. You never get this.
And one time he get this.
One time he get this.
He get this. Yep. Yeah, that was such a good dog.
John just left like Truman Show style.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, dude. So Sam would also he knew the word squirrel meant, like, all right, I'm chasing something and it's gonna go up this tree, right? I know what it is. He could be dead asleep in the house, anywhere in the house, and all you have to do is say, "Get the squirrel." He would get up, dart to the back door, jump. There was like a 2-step down.
Yeah,
from like where the kitchen would go to back to the back door, and he would jump, hit the door handle, open it, and fly out and chase if something was there. It's hilarious.
Oh my gosh!
Immediately.
Yep, for sure.
He had that down to a science for sure.
No question.
What a good boy.
All right, let me get a setback here. All right, so if you could have a meal, we didn't decide on what meal?
You pick it.
If you're at a table, if you're sharing a meal with any 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be? I'm gonna go first with at least one.
Go for
I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh, you're gonna present a single person. Okay.
The first one.
So is this a date?
No. Salma Hayek?
I'm just kidding.
Desperado. What?
Right.
Controversial. Warning. Controversial warning.
Is that your warning?
It's my warning.
Right.
Hey, warning.
Hey, a wave, like
check everybody.
Wave ever.
Everybody, check your feelings and potentially your faith, because I'm going Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that answers a lot of the world's questions and problems.
For sure.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Because either
and it blurs the line, because you say you could have 3 people, dead or alive, and like, which is he?
I know. What is he? So either he doesn't show because he never existed, which is a possibility, or
he's just late,
or he shows.
Oh, Jesus is bailing on me again.
He shows, and he is the American version of a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man in the Middle East.
Joseph Smith was right.
Right. Or he does show, and he's just some nice guy carpenter that teaches, be nice to your neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Or he fucking appears out of nothingness, and he is who the Bible says he is. But I feel like we move Earth forward with that guest. So that was the first thing. He does bring the wine.
He brings the wine.
Actually, he brings water. But
you could just bring the water.
Yeah, you bring the water.
Tap water.
Incredible.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good
that is a really good one.
That one instantly popped in my head. I'm like, you know what? I don't really care to talk to him that much, unless he, does show up to be God. But
in any of those cases, he's probably got something. I mean, you're not going to understand him, but
right. Well, no, he's American.
Right.
Right.
Blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white male.
Yep.
Jew in the Middle East, right?
Stigmata.
So
that's a good one.
That is a really good one.
Yeah, so that's my one. My other two are just fanboys, which my second one you could confuse with my first one because that's Jimi Hendrix, right?
Oh, yeah,
they
same
could be the
person,
same,
really.
Same person, derived from the same person at least. And I would definitely want to meet my guitar hero, Randy Rhoads, for sure.
It's funny thinking about how Jesus interacts with Jimi Hendrix.
With Jimi Hendrix, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Jimmy's like, I can play better than you, though.
No, that'd be interesting. Now, did you picked it more from an individual basis or on the way the whole conversation would play out? Obviously, the Jesus.
Oh, I didn't really pick this as
variable.
I'm having dinner with all three of them at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so that wasn't really what
I was thinking about all the same time.
I'm thinking this is like a we're all at the same table.
That would be a potentially weird, like really odd conversation. No, I'm thinking kind of more.
Jesus is like, how do you feel about the skills I gave you?
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
Where did I come up short here?
Dude, you and Xenomorph on the same page. Glad you used the gifts I gave you.
Yeah, I had to snap you guys up really early in life too.
Interesting to see which Jesus shows up, Surfer Jesus or what? Yeah, for real. Or it's the Jesus, Alex, that we Ray and I got you for your birthday at that thrift store.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It would definitely be him.
Like baseball Jesus or something like that.
Yeah.
If that Jesus walked into a restaurant or bar, everyone would be like, "Is this the most beautiful human being that's ever existed?"
It'd be the Jesus that's hip with the youths.
The youths. All right. So now that it's the three at the same table, you can ruminate on that for a second. And Alex, do you want to think about the time of day for the meal?
Originally, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking we all sit down at the same table. But now that you say individual, I think I have two different answers.
No, give them both.
Fire away.
I think if I were sitting down at a table with everybody, it would be on my mom's side, my grandpa, my great grandpa, and then his dad. So all the generations up, and then we could talk about the whole family. I could get a firsthand experience and stories of our family. I think that would be. I mean, nobody's ever gotten that, right? Nobody's ever talked to their great grandfather.
Truth.
True.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Just gossip. Yeah. Right. What are we gonna talk about?
Right. my freaking mother-in-law, man, I tell you.
Right.
I like that answer.
But individual, I think it would have to be George Washington, either Obama or definitely Obama, George Washington, and
His Holiness Donald Trump.
Dude.
Actually, that might be But that might also be interesting. That would be interesting. That'd be interesting to get everybody.
Yeah, that might be a better trio.
Yeah.
Individual.
That's like one of those. My answer to the Fight Club question: if you could fight someone dead or alive, it's without a doubt Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Like anymore. Like,
right.
I don't even have to think about that. Hitler.
Yeah. TT Slug. I thought about Hitler. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a fun fact about TT Slug. He's Jewish and he wants to talk to Hitler.
Dude, have Jesus with Hitler. And
Genghis Khan.
That would be but that's actually a legit idea there.
Our Jew friend
pick
wants
his
to
brain.
Talk to
I know, right?
pick his brain.
Oh God.
Another interesting route would be to grab up the very famous serial killers to have an interaction.
Dahmer, Bundy, Gein.
Although a lot of them you'd end up with no truth.
No.
Oh, I know, but even then it would just be interesting.
Well, yeah, that's true. There's a super interesting book. Since you brought up serial killers, I'm just going to plug this real quick. I think it's the Serial Killer Whisperer, I think is the title of it. Super nutshell. Young kid in high school, who's like a social butterfly, star athlete, suffers a brain injury, a severe brain injury, totally changes his personality. He becomes very he has no fuse, no patience. He's very angry. He fights with people, and it like totally changed him. And
Psychosis.
And he found that he started writing letters to serial killers because he felt he had a connection to them because of where his brain has gone.
Yeah.
And he developed like bonds with a lot of them, and they started confiding in him, and they actually he helped solve unsolved murders, because they were confessing things to him, like locations of bodies and shit. So it's not like they were lying, like they went and found. It's a super interesting book if anybody has an interest in that. Serial Killer Whisperer, I'm pretty certain, is the title.
We just watched that Night Stalker on.
Oh my god, that's such a good movie.
We just finished watching that. Well, no. So you're talking about the docuseries, right?
No, I'm thinking of Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I know. I keep wanting to watch that, and Jacqueline's like, it seems scary or something.
No, dude, we'll have to see it. So what's Night Stalker?
It's a 4-part docuseries on a very prolific serial killer, and I think he started in LA, but ended up spanning at least up to San Francisco and whatnot. But
yeah, Richard Ramirez.
Yeah, he changed his MO over and over, though. He started by sneaking into people's houses and shooting them with a .22.
Jesus.
And yeah, so then his whole thing is he ended up, there was like a no rhyme or reason kind of situation. He was hard to develop a pattern about. The only thing they were sticking to was he wore the same shoes every time, and he left a footprint. But yeah, he went from there, and then he got even worse. He started going down the molestation and kidnapping route, and then he went back to the killings, and yeah, so he had a whole thing, but it's on Netflix. It's a good watch.
That sounds really good. Speaking of like prolific serial killers and just strange things like that, we're in Savannah right now, me and Aubrey, and there's a museum here. It's like an Oddities museum that record label owner Ryan Grayface started. It's called the Grayface Oddities Museum, I think. And I believe he has the biggest collection of serial killer and cult memorabilia in the US. He has like 30 paintings from John Wayne Gacy. He has letters from
Gacy was a painter? I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. Apparently you can still write to him in prison and request a painting. Like request him to do a painting.
I don't even think of these people as alive.
Right. I know.
Like
I didn't even
in
know
my
he was
head,
alive.
Gacy is not alive.
No, but he definitely is. Yeah, if anybody's ever in Savannah, this is like a must do. It's so cool.
Wish these pictures were a little bigger, but
yo, what was that?
There's like a bunch of strange taxidermy, like cult taxidermy and stuff like that.
Wow.
They have that's Heaven's Gate, I think.
Dude, that's the same TV I have.
Dude, Heaven's Gate, there's your Gacy.
There's Gacy, yeah.
Wait, he drew a picture of himself?
Yeah.
Yo, that is psychotic.
Yeah, himself as a clown. Yeah.
I actually
have like a Ouija board.
That was
they have the Flavor Aid packets from Jonestown.
Nice. They got Magneto's mask up in the upper left. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Dude, a ton of stuff in this collection.
Yo, what? Okay.
Interesting.
Well, now
cool.
Oddities, you're gonna have to take UFOs out of there. It's just so mainstream anymore.
Yeah,
it happens all the time.
Confirmed by the White House.
It's still blowing my mind. I don't know if it's because we're that busy and we're that distracted, but
we're not.
The government is confirming these things.
Yeah,
like weekly, and it's just like, all right, today's Wednesday.
I know.
There's aliens exist. Yeah.
Seriously. Like they used to have hours and weeks and months of television just about a potential sighting. And it's like, no, that happened Wednesday.
The
It's just
Pentagon
like,
confirmed UFO sightings. I mean, obviously that just means unidentified, right? But
yes, but they're also then confirming the behavior of these craft. And if we don't have them, no one else in
right,
this place has them.
truth.
COVID
truth,
equals distraction.
dude. Is there a group onto the museum? That's one.
There might be. I don't know.
Probably.
Jacqueline, the wife, there it goes. I was trying to get it in before she said
Oh,
it. She is
man.
convinced these things are in the ocean.
Yeah, why
She's-
would they not
Every
be?
time we watch like a dinosaur or anything that's large, even whales do it. She'll be like, "I for sure aliens are in the ocean." That's what she'll say. Just like looking at how silly a whale looks and how alien an octopus is. She's just like, "Yeah, of course there's aliens in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's so big. We've never been down there." That's what she'll do.
course.
Okay, so I had a couple different meal scenarios. I feel like I have to do the martial arts one. So I'd have like John Danaher. It's like potentially one of the greatest martial arts instructors of all time.
Yeah.
And I just watched a
without
clip
doubt.
of Gordon Ryan on
On
Joe
Rogan.
Rogan.
I was watching him this morning, dude.
And
Outrageous.
he said that John's taught judo private lessons to judo
Mhm.
Olympians. Same thing for wrestling. And obviously he's the famed MMA coach of Georges St. Pierre, and now he's Gordon Ryan's coach. So in terms of martial arts knowledge, he's probably up there in any all-time list.
Gordon said that nobody knows this about John, but he knows just as much about MMA and other martial arts as he does about jiu-jitsu. Like jiu-jitsu isn't necessarily his runaway knowledge, right? Which is
And he wears a
outrageous.
rash guard and a fanny pack everywhere he goes.
Is when Gordon started talking about the fancy rash guards.
Dude.
Oh, he wears a
wears them
rash
on
guard
dates, dude.
everywhere, and if he's
Why?
yeah, he said if he's going on a date,
Because it's more functional, dude.
functional. It dries quickly.
Yes, it dries quickly.
It keeps you cool. It keeps you warm, and it dries quickly. And Gordon said if he comes out of the locker room with his fancy gray rash guard, he was like, "Oh no, he's not fucking around. He means business today."
So
Fancy.
John,
Fancy.
I'd have to have Bruce Lee at the table.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe Muhammad Ali.
Ooh, yeah.
That'd be
I feel like that interaction would be highly productive.
right. I would much rather just watch. I have nothing to add to that conversation, right? Let me just
Oh yeah,
let me just drink that in.
Right.
But in terms of I don't even know. I feel like if I had to do on a live table, it'd be like Dave Chappelle,
Good start.
Russell Brand, and David Blaine or something like that.
David Blaine? Wow.
David Blaine's there for just entertainment.
Dude,
purposes.
David Blaine, that's another master.
100%.
Like that's a pure master. Yeah, I feel like for the other one, it's just like tea or coffee with the martial arts crowd, and then
Yeah.
you do drugs with the other one, maybe. I don't know.
I'm definitely
and then
having
you
brunch.
Go to the bar with Chris Farley.
There you go. I'm definitely
Dude,
having brunch
I watched
with
an
Jesus,
interview.
though.
Yeah, brunch.
Waffle sticks and scrambled eggs and stuff.
I watched a Letterman interview with Chris Farley this week, and I don't think I could have handled that guy.
He was
in
a
real
lot.
life.
He was a lot.
I really don't think I could have done it. Like I've always kind of felt that way about Robin Williams,
Yeah.
but I feel like I could have got through the wave, like weathered the storm of Robin Williams. I don't think I could have handled Chris.
Well, because
Farley.
he had a serious side. Robin Williams, you could actually
Yes, for
have a
sure. Well,
conversation with him.
He had that depressive.
Yeah.
bout
But
in
Chris
as well.
Chris Farley was just always up here.
Dude, I couldn't. It was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you could tell even David Spade, they were promoting, I might have been Tommy Boy at the time, but
Probably, yeah.
even David Spade was like trying to reel him in for the crowd. Like, and it was still, high anxiety with high energy and
High weight.
I think there's definitely a underpinning of lack of confidence, which doesn't come off when you talk about Chris Farley, but I think in real life, I think he probably had that
That's
but it
why
was
he used so many
very
drugs to cope with it.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He was always on cocaine.
And
Yeah.
like Xenomorph saying, he was super young,
Yeah.
hitting, you know.
Dude, it
Yeah, he
was
did Tommy Boy at like
stardom.
what,
couldn't believe it.
22?
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, Chappelle though would have to. He's. I feel if I'm gonna just like pull up a video of anything, I'm probably gonna dig into Russell Brand. I like his podcast, and Dave Chappelle. Like those are like the two people I'd probably tune on or tune into anymore.
Yeah.
Like anytime Chappelle does anything, I'm in like right off the jump.
Because it's usually
For sure.
funny as hell. Yeah, and smart.
It's another master, and yeah, he's also incredibly smart.
Yeah. Doesn't he
So-
live in like Springfield, Ohio? Like a
Yeah,
small
he
town
lives
in
in
Ohio?
some like small town in Ohio that's got this left wing like liberal string through it, surrounded by a sea of red. And
Yeah, he lives on like a farm or like a working
Yeah.
farm or something like that, which is you would not think that with his content, you know, you would think somewhere downtown, somewhere like a loft downtown somewhere. I don't know.
His
Yeah.
Letterman's Netflix series, my next guest, right? I think that's the title of it.
they do it in his town, right?
Yeah, they do it in his town, and the audience is there, and Letterman's like paying compliments to Dave and thanking him for this and bringing out a crowd. He was like, they all know me. They're not here to see me. They're here to see you.
Yeah.
It's like I know all of them out there.
That's a good point. That's how he stays grounded. That is probably how he stays grounded.
Well,
Move to LA and you become an asshole, I guess.
he's actively engaged in trying to be grounded too. So I think
Right.
he's the type of guy that thinks about that sort of thing. Obviously, with him turning down the $50 million check
Yeah.
and fleeing to Africa story.
Yep.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's the goat. That's the comedy goat.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Carlin would be he's in that table talk too. Like I feel like the interaction between a Russell Brand and a George Carlin would be absolutely hilarious and fantastic.
Bonkers, dude. Like a today's Russell Brand too.
No, I only want today's Russell Brand. I
Yeah.
don't want the Russell
10 years
Brand.
ago would be you'd leave in 5 minutes. You wouldn't even.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
couldn't take
even-
it. Would be just like the Chris Farley thing. I would sit down.
Yeah.
I'd be like, nope, I'm out of here.
I can't
Can't
do
do
this. For sure.
Which is
Don't-
crazy because as a kid watching Chris Farley movies, I mean, if you're talking about this is another person I might want at a table would be Jim Carrey. Like,
Yeah.
who made you laugh more than Jim Carrey and Chris Farley as a kid? Like no one.
But it might also ruin it, you know?
For sure. But no, not modern Jim Carrey is
Yeah,
kind
true.
of like a modern. He's got that whatever happened to Russell Brand. Like
Yeah.
well, I know what happened to Russell Brand, but they had an awakening, like a spiritual awakening, and now they're
The story of Jim Carrey in the past like 6 years is like it's really tragic. Like his girlfriend, I think, killed herself, and then like her whole family blamed him for it because of his success. It was too much on her. So that's when he spiraled out.
That's rough.
yeah. Well, he's got that. What Dave Chappelle did, he kind of did that in a different way.
Yeah.
Like he had that video that emerged randomly on YouTube that he was like, I needed color, and he started painting, and he's like a fantastic painter of sorts. But yeah, that would be my collection of people. Because you always, you think, like Newton and you have the great philosophers, but like
Right.
I don't know if
I know
that
what
would be a. Dude, I tried to read. I didn't read it. I tried to read a book by Tesla.
Nicola.
Nope, not gonna happen.
No.
So there's no way he and I are talking.
It's just
about
written in mathematical symbols. It's not
It's-
even in words.
It is like it reads like someone that reads and speaks and thinks in numbers that's trying to use language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. Nothing's clear. It's as dry as humanly possible. no thanks.
When I originally thought about this, I thought of like of course I love music. I'm gonna hang out with my favorite artists like Jim Morrison, Jerry Garcia, those kind of guys. But then you think about it, and it's like they were kind of just like insufferable hippies, or like completely drunk out of their mind, and they just happened to be really talented on stage.
Hmm.
I don't
Well,
really
yeah,
see I don't really see how that conversation could go well with those kind of artists.
that's fair. I think you see now that we have a greater glimpse into famous people and their lives, and even though we've had too much of that information for my entire lifetime almost, but now it's even more excessive.
Hmm.
You can see that a lot of them are struggling in the same
Yes.
exact ways, right?
Sure.
And
Yeah.
obviously to a greater degree because they're human and they're being pressed in these very inhuman ways.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I think Hendrix is an exception because you watch interviews with him and you can tell he would make extremely good conversation. He's very well spoken.
Yeah, I'm having.
He
I'm
thinks
having.
about
Go ahead. Go
huh?
ahead. Finish up. Go ahead.
Thinks about everything he says, which is that's good for good conversation. So
And he
what were you gonna say,
that's
Jeff?
just that is an honest being.
Yeah.
That's someone who there was no
authentic.
yeah, 100%. There was no doing things for other people. It was everything that he lived and felt. Um, he just portrayed and stood by, what he thought was right. But yeah, man, brunch with Jesus. I'm having a glass of wine with Jimmy, dude. Just definitely in the evening.
Yeah. Yeah, just don't leave that glass unattended. There will definitely be some papers floating in the top of that by the end of the night.
He
Oh, what is that, man?
I feel like you'd also want to have like a couple of the founding fathers with a modern Republican pundit.
Dude, I actually thought about that. I was like, I would need more than 3 though. I want like 10 people, you know. I
You
want
just get all of them
I
and
want
then show them modern
I
America.
want like
Yeah.
3 or 4 of our founding fathers. I want a couple big hitters from the civil rights movement, and then just sit them in front of everyone that currently works at Fox News. Go ahead, ask them questions, guys.
Dude, all you need is Bill and Ted's phone booth and,
right,
and a project from school.
Yeah.
right.
And then Carlin will come down and you guys can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, no. So if dead or alive, if I could fight someone, this person's tied. Tucker Carlson.
Oh yeah.
He's
for
actually number
sure.
1.
Yeah,
He's actually
I'd
number
probably
1.
put him over Trump.
Yeah. Just Trump is like 80 years old.
Yeah, right. For sure.
Tucker, you wouldn't feel bad.
He's just got that face. He's got that face.
Oh God, and it's so punchable.
So
Yeah.
punchable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's the one
Yeah.
where you heel hook and destroy one leg and you just immediately switch to the other leg. Like, we're not done now. No, I'm gonna get the other leg too.
So welcome to Room 145, where we talk about beating up television
Yep.
personalities.
Yep.
Right. For sure.
Classic thought experiments.
Yeah.
Who you could have food with and who would you fight? That's the Fight Club, right? And
Yeah.
What Edward Norton says. Is it Edward Norton who says it? Where he says Abraham Lincoln
Yeah.
because
And
of the
then-
reach
Then,
or whatever.
Yeah. Then,
The reach.
then Durden's like, good answer.
Good answer. Right?
Fight my dad.
Yeah, that gets
Yeah.
real. But,
Right.
So yeah, and
Um,
then yeah, keep going.
Go ahead.
Nope.
I didn't have anything on that. It's just popped up over here on my other screen. I was well, it's totally off topic. I'm just derailing. Watching a Jordan Peterson thing this morning. Yeah, pass on John.
on.
Yeah. No. It's not my choice.
Yeah.
No way.
No,
Thanks.
not interested.
Just for some reason, for no good reason at all, dude can still throw a head kick.
Yeah, I think if I were put in that position, I'm
No
pretty sure I
warm-up.
could outrun him, and that's going to be the only chance
Right.
I have.
Right. Yep.
That's my response to a lot of those fight questions. So what would you do if this happened? Like, I'm running. Like most of those cases, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm not trying to get involved with any sort of serious situation. Alanis Morissette, Sigourney Weaver, and my mom's mom.
Why Alanis Morissette? That's
because she's a bitch. Isn't her that song? Isn't that song hers?
Yeah.
She's so many things.
I'm very
dude.
disappointed in you.
She's so many things. You get to have answers from so many things.
She's a bitch. She's a
sinner,
lover. She's
a saint, a child, a mother,
saint.
dude.
Well, that's ironic.
So many things.
Yeah, she's.
I don't know anything about
her
Alanis
own
Morissette,
for sure.
like at all.
I think she still identifies as a woman.
That's not her for sure.
Sigourney Weaver. I definitely know the story behind that one.
What about you, TT?
Anybody else in the chat?
Anyone?
You got someone that alive or dead?
Well, we know TT wants
Hitler. Jesus.
And Dwayne Johnson. That would be interesting.
Dude, Dwayne at the same table. Could you imagine?
Could you imagine Hitler talking about genetic superiority next to The Rock?
Dude, and The Rock fits none of the attributes that
he doesn't fit any of them,
right? Nope. Meanwhile, he's just doesn't even fit in this camera frame, right?
Right.
Yeah, right. Bruce Lee, Johnson, dude, wow.
That's so left field.
That's just so you, Bruce Lee, and Dwayne can talk, and then everyone just whoops Hitler's ass at the end.
I feel like Hitler would be dead within about a minute.
Oh, it wouldn't take that long.
No.
TT Slug could choke. I mean, you could choke Hitler into a vegetable in 45 seconds.
Wow. It's true.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know the exact time on it, but if you cut the blood flow off to the brain for that long, I mean, that's it.
that is it. You're correct.
Right.
So speaking of doing that, what does a good life look like?
Yeah, speaking the other side of the coin, not getting choked out. What does a good life look to you?
No joke. Yeah. What does a good life look like? Kind of went I kind of wrote down just some bullet points. But the first word that I wrote down was fulfilled. I think that kind of covers. It's very vague, obviously, but John's background is the good life.
Dude, it is. Breath of the Wild was the good life.
Yeah.
Period.
But I think that's, finding ways to be fulfilled, creatively, professionally, mentally, physically, in your relationship. That was the first word that I wrote down, because you're kind of, in my opinion, I think you're kind of always striving for that, and that dealing with the struggles along the way is the challenge, though. So enjoying the ride. Yeah, I mean, there's a kind of a lot to unpack there, but
yeah. What are your specifics? Your specific routes toward fulfillment?
So, me personally, I do think that overcoming struggles and kind of embracing challenges, whether it's professionally or what I'll use professionally for now, right? I think everybody can relate to, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people, most people can probably relate to the challenge of figuring out what the hell you want to do with your life, right? And when you don't know, it's very stressful. When you don't know how you're going to be secure and comfortable financially, and do the things that you want to be able to do, and what kind of work you want to do. Unfortunately, I mean, this is a whole conversation in itself, but it's like, okay, is that the life you should have? Should you have a job, or should we be doing other things? I mean, that's a whole other conversation to take. So, I'm sticking with our current reality. um, which you know, for the most part, need that. But either way, I do think there's a lot of value in it. Look at when people retire and you don't occupy your time well. Your brain deteriorates. They die young, or
Yep.
much younger, right? Or whatever. So I do think that achievement. I know when I set out on a path in my career path. Shout out to Xenomorph. The steps along the way feel good, and it allows, has afforded me to be able to do things in my personal life outside of work. There's plenty I would change about the professional environment for sure, but those sorts of achievements along the way and progressing and going through challenges and whatever, I think that matters a lot. At least it does to me. Having, I wrote down life partner, whether that's a whatever definition you want to apply to it. For my life, it is my wife, Ray. There's a very direct line between our relationship and my level of happiness. So,
Yeah.
having someone, I think maybe a lot of people do, but I feel like her and I have a pretty unique relationship. I don't know. I don't really know.
She yells at you and you get chicken for her.
I don't speak to her in the morning until she has coffee, and but there's a level of understanding and care for each other that I can't say is very consistent in other relationships I've seen in my life at any age group. But having someone who has your back and supports you and shares in your failures and successes and happinesses and sadness, and someone that will, a lot of relationships, everyone always talks about it should be 50-50. It's not. That shit's an 80-20 swing, man. It's you're not having a good day. You need someone to pick up an extra 30% that day.
Yeah.
If someone's only willing to go to 50, this shit ain't gonna work because you're not gonna be operating at 100% all the time. So, I think having someone to share your life with, it doesn't have to be a spouse, whatever, but
best friend, sibling.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Just
so I guess
intimate social interactions.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, but there's a. Not to get anything like weird or anything, but you guys as my brothers, there are certain things that there's no way I would. It's not the same level of vulnerability and sharing that you would have with a spouse, right?
No, of course
you
not.
would.
No.
It's just not that It's not even about information sharing or anything like that. And it's obviously not about intimacy or anything down that road. It's just it is a different thing, so I don't know. Whatever.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. Like, if you're feeling a certain way and maybe you're going to react a certain way, you can be completely transparent with that person. Like,
right.
I'm not feeling great right now. I'm very stressed. I need something more from you right now.
Yeah.
And you feel totally comfortable saying that around your spouse.
And I mean, maybe there are situations, I wouldn't say it's a common thing, but you're also like, I'm not living with you guys. You know what I mean? So I would say we are very close, all of us, and, closer than a lot of probably sibling relationships are. But when you're spending every day with someone, it's a totally different thing. But, minimizing stress was another point that I put down on there. Again, that's pretty vague and wide spanning, but encompassing, within that is kind of looking back at one of our previous episodes, having things that a hobby, but doing things that you enjoy doing, right? Making sure that you are not just on a grind all the time, right? Having things that but again, just fulfill you, right? Having your hobbies, having things that you like to do, and being comfortable. Because regardless, that kind of goes hand in hand with my professional achievements, going, and striving to do better in that area. Because if you're thinking about, can I pay the bills? That's not it's not a good life for me. I'm sure there's people out there that don't really give a shit as much, and that doesn't bother them because that's just not a priority for them. But I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be a millionaire. Like, yeah, it'd be great if that happened in the future, but that's not like a goal. I'm not trying to live luxuriously, but I'm also not trying to struggle to pay the bills and wonder how much money I can go spend at the grocery store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would.
And I feel like you feel so strongly that way because you've had to go through that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like years of that. I feel like people can't truly appreciate that dread of, well, shit, which bill do I pay? Or
Yeah,
who can I ask for money? Who can I put my tail between my legs and walk up to them, ask them for $40 because it takes a lot. It humbles you immediately, and you never want to have that feeling again.
for sure. And that's just a level of stress that, because there's no break from it.
Right.
Dave Chappelle had that the fear of poverty is a treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's that line for sure.
yeah. And I mean, I try not to let it get to me too much, but I've also had some really unfortunate experiences where I've had jobs pretty much taken from me because of the words of other people.
Yeah.
So I have this like baked in fear at all times, even though I know I'm a top performer in my department at my job. If I would think about it and compare myself to anybody in my department, there might be a close second. Like I hold that number one seat, and I know it because of I work hard and I don't come in and whatever. I don't slack. I don't take days off to. I'm gonna take it easy, and it's probably because of those experiences. I have this like irrational fear, maybe that I'm just gonna get fired. Right,
dude, I would fire you for sure.
Right, for sure.
For no reason. I'd just wait for some rumor to start that has nothing to do with you even, and just fire you.
Yeah, man.
Can I have my job? Yeah, I mean, the things you're saying, that last bit, Jacqueline my wife goes on the same kind of tangents, even though anyone that knows her knows that regardless of, even if somehow they got it in her head that she should get fired from her current job, it would be like 27 minutes and 10 seconds before she had a 6-figure job somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because she's a monster.
She's aight.
But yeah, I mean, I say it all the time, so it's not going to be shocking, but she's the best problem solver I've ever met in my life. Like if her and I are just in a pure competition about and solving problems, unless it's math, I can beat her there.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like just kind of obtuse problems or whatnot, I'd pit her against anyone else I know, and she would beat everyone. I don't even think it'd be close.
Damn.
What would you do if your internet was running slow?
Turn it off and then on again.
So I will only judge my field the way people are leaving it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I know
Well, yeah,
you chose a unique time to.
Yeah,
for sure. The most unique time in the history of your existence, probably, with respect to that field.
Yeah. Talking about police work. Anybody else
Yes.
listening?
But he also falls into the category of someone that is adequately trained and who's in much better physical shape than the
Well,
average person in that position, which is if you're going to be in that position, you owe it to yourself,
yes.
to your profession, and to
Yes.
everyone else around you to be in a constant state of training,
Al
one way or
dente,
the other.
dude. Al
You
dente.
you need to be mentally preparing yourself. You need to be doing meditation. You need to be doing yoga. You need to be doing jujitsu.
That does
You need to
not
be
happen.
I think we should probably
none of that
make this a
happens.
full conversation one time. But on top of everything that John just said is absolutely correct. But not only should you be doing them, they should be provided to them.
Yeah.
Oh, no, no.
Yeah, absolutely. They should have training. Yeah, they should have people coming in training him how to do these things.
Yes. It's
Every
a very
day.
simple
Part
thing.
of their shift should be jujitsu. Part of their shift should be mental health care and
Yes.
analysis and therapy and stress relief and all of these things.
The government
There's a
should
million things we
provide
can talk
that,
about.
period.
Yes,
Why
100%.
wouldn't every police department should have a contract with a local or collection of local jiu-jitsu gyms,
Yes,
period.
absolutely.
It's that simple, and you would solve a lot of these problems outright.
Yep.
People would be in shape, they'd be less stressed, and they'd be that moment when you lock up with someone and you can tell right off the jump
Yep.
that they don't have any training and you're
Mhm.
safe.
Your stress goes.
You don't know that
Yeah.
if you aren't trained. And that's why you have people that are so scared and so they have such a hair trigger
Mm-hmm.
That's a
because
cool.
of they're insecure.
Adopt a cop.
100%. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. We should do an episode on.
Oh, but
on
no.
policing
So
in
yeah,
the
we don't
future,
need to
but
get
yeah,
into that. But
that's cool, though.
obviously,
Yeah, we will.
They pay for training until you're a blue belt. So that's a good start. You know.
yeah.
So that's the
Like
that's
if you
a
could
step.
mandate a purple belt, dude,
In Japan, I don't
like
know
a
if it's
legit
still.
purple belt.
Yeah,
Didn't
100%.
they have to have 2 types of martial arts under their belt?
I took a Japanese culture class in college, and
Is it taught by a white guy? I'm just curious.
yeah. No, the instructor was obviously a Japanese man, and he was a police officer in Japan, and he said officers had to have 2 or 3 black belts before in different
Oh,
arts.
black belts.
Yes,
Oh shit.
every officer had multiple black belts. Yeah,
That's awesome.
you weren't considered
It's,
otherwise.
On a similar thread, we were watching some Sebastian Maniscalco recently,
Dude.
and his bit on TSA is exactly this, right?
Yes,
Like
dude.
he talks about traveling the world and like going to Israel and like Beirut and all these different places. He knows like you go into their airports and it's
Oh my god.
everything's
Yeah.
tight fitting, hat here, machine gun. All right.
Right.
He's like, you see what we got?
Dude.
You
It's
go
unbelievable.
basic. So that you already know what he's saying, what
Yeah.
the sentiment is. The same thing goes for our public servicemen. Like,
Yep.
if you look at who our police officers are,
I know.
Especially in the South.
you just watched that the video that's viral this week of that. He's comes off like he's drunk.
Yep.
And he's harassing this a black man in a diner, and I think it's somewhere in the South.
I don't think I
The
saw
whole
this
thing's
one.
the whole thing's caught on camera, but this guy, he's like belligerent, he's obese,
Yeah.
he's all of the things you think when you think of the negative stereotypes of American cops. He's this,
Yeah.
and it's just far too common. And we, for some reason, we've got in our head like the gun violence issue is separate from the physical training aspect. It's
Right,
not.
it's
like,
not.
It's exactly the same thing.
No, because you're not only training yourself how to defend yourself and fight if you have to, but you'll have that self-control. You have
It's
that calm.
confidence.
Yeah.
Again, if me and you start grappling, like if we just lock up, I will know immediately where you're at.
Yes.
Like you
Yeah.
won't, especially if you're being serious. Like there's no hiding it. And if so,
Yeah.
you can
We
feel.
talked about
someone
this.
that's
This is not something
untrained.
you can fake. Period.
No, if you lock up with someone and they're going full tilt and they're untrained, it is pathetic. Period. Like if you've spent any serious amount of time training, I've seen huge people walk into the gyms and you put boxing gloves on their hands, even you hold up some pads, and you're just like, what is that? Like
It's all
you're not
elbow
even
and shoulder.
capable. You're not even capable of violence.
No.
Like
you will
really,
never hit a moving target. You could punch. I could put my hands behind my back, and you'd probably miss me. Most of your punches will miss.
So that alone, right there, that lockup moment. Because there's another viral video going on right now, but it's the opposite. So it's a cop that's clearly got jujitsu training. Doesn't seem like a whole lot, but they lock up. I think it's an older clip, but it's just circulating, given what's going on right now. They lock up. They start kind of wrestling, and they fall together, and the cop's kind of in like a full guard / back control situation. But he's got so much control over the situation. He's got the guy's kind of head. He's able to, while they're grappling, he reaches and just lets his people know that they're fighting.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom. 2 seconds later, takes the guy's back and just starts controlling him immediately. No damage done, nothing.
Yeah. Well, you saw there's a TT Slug. I don't know. I mean, this is kind of way off the cuff, but I think it'd be cool to have you on and join us one time, and maybe when we have this conversation and get your input, either on camera or not, we can have just your voice. But I think it'd be cool to have the conversation. But there's a video of like a 16, 17-year-old high school wrestler who there's a video of a man who tries to abduct, literally like take a child out of his mother's hands.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And he's a kid. I mean, he's a big kid, right? But he's a teenager. He's a teenager.
Yeah.
And he wrestles the man to the ground, pins him, controls him, holds him, and all of the other people are trying to, like, you know, that mob mentality kicks in. They're trying to stomp on this dude and kill him, and he's stopping them. Because he's calm. He's like, this dude's not a threat.
He's got
to
it.
Me. He's got him.
Yeah,
he's holding him.
Yeah.
He kind of cools people off around him, tells them to call the police, and he holds him in place. The dude can't do anything, and he holds him until the cops get there.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a teenager. It's a teenage wrestler.
No. So one last thing, and then I'll jump in on that. What does a good life look like? But
okay. Derailed.
So that cop. There's also another video. I think she's like a high school chick. This cop is like tussling with her, and he goes to throw up an armbar on her, and she like half slams and escapes out of it. And she's like in high school.
That's awesome.
Like a teenage girl.
Oh. Well, that's YouTube jiu-jitsu right there. That's all that is.
No, and it was. He'd maybe, like, his friends would wrestle on the grass, maybe. That's like as clean as it was.
And
but that goes to show you, like, the teenage girl was able to fend off and out grapple a fully grown untrained male.
That's great.
That was wearing a badge. You know,
right.
like
there are levels.
So yeah, what does a good life look like? I think to keep it broad like that, that feeling of grappling someone and having that knowledge and control over the situation and yourself, I want to maximize the amount of time I spend in that mindset across all domains. I feel like I'm pretty close to that already. I just need to continue on the path I'm on. But I want that level of awareness maximized. And if I could do that, like Xenomorph said earlier, and provide an environment where my daughter can just be her own thing and fall on her face successfully and get back up. And, you know, Jack and I are there to lean on each other and help each other maximize those moments. That's pretty much it. Like everything else. But I know what that looks like for me too, specifically, because as we've talked about, I've done the experimentation. I've tried many different things, and it's clear. Like if I do jujitsu 2-3 days a week for the rest of my life, I'm pretty much mentally set.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
that's it.
wanna
Lifting a little bit maybe but all for my effectiveness on the mats. Like I don't care what I look like. I just want to be semi-efficient physiologically, and
Hmm.
yeah, 2 to 3 days of jujitsu a week, and obviously, you know, I have a job, but that doesn't come into my calculus. But it the current position I'm in also is something I could do for the rest of my life for sure. And it's in that same vein of maximizing those moments. So the current position I'm in allows me there's no fluff
Hmm.
anymore. Like I'm not in a job that I encounter that kind of corporate American or that sales voicey. None of that
Oh,
happens.
it's the worst.
There's no filter of any kind. I'm just in a constant state of raw human emotion. So that that rawness
Hmm.
that I get from jujitsu and from my job, that's all I need. So I'm in the right job then because I'm maximizing that experience there. And as soon as I'm looking to get back on the mats maybe next week. I'll be
Mm,
solid. So
Nice.
jujitsu coming back. I'm excited to
yeah,
see their new gym.
I want another black belt for sure. So and I know it's got to be a jiu-jitsu black belt period. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to put my body through a judo regimen.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want to do any. I could do like a traditional thing, but only because of a breathing exercise kind of situation. I
Like
think I
some
could
Tai
get into
Chi
that
shit.
then. Yeah, for
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, so that maximizing a good life to me looks like a situation where I'm calm enough, aware enough, and in control enough that I don't have to lash out or damage anything around me emotionally, physically,
Hmm.
Interesting.
and I'm on that path. I can say that with
Hmm.
confidence.
No doubt.
That's cool, man. Um, I had a couple things written down. They're kind of similar to what Jordan was saying and a couple of the things you said, John. But kind of just expanding on self confidence and things like that. I think a good life is a life where you can love yourself, completely be happy with yourself, and in that regard, making the people that you care about around you happy. Because ultimately, that's what everything's about, right? Anything you do, you're trying to either make yourself happy or make somebody else happy.
And on that exact point, just to completely round out what I was saying,
Hmm.
because your point's correct, and it's a tangent that needed to be addressed if we were talking about this like really long form. But
Hmm.
if I can do those things, I will have a better, more positive impact on the world around me.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. It's
I was kind of
impossible to not
saying,
to.
going about like it doesn't even need to be said, but the
Yeah,
fact that you said it, that's so I'm in that wavelength too. So
yeah.
that was also so that I could more positively impact every person I run into or even am around. Like even at the store,
Right,
you know that feeling when you're happier, when you're more fulfilled and in a more control. It's easier to smile, right?
right. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, keep going. I just
because if you're if you're loving yourself, if you're satisfied with yourself, and yeah, you may have bills due, you may have something due at school or at work or whatever. That's always going to happen. There's always going to be a stress. But if you can be good with yourself, not hate yourself like so many people do, constantly judging their bodies or the things that they do, if you can cut that out, I think that is to me the ultimate goal in life. to get to that point where you can just be alone, have all these stresses around you, but still be happy, still be satisfied with yourself.
Still be you, like the
Yep.
person that you would call yourself.
Yes.
You.
For
Yeah.
sure. It's interesting that my how do I word this? I'm
With your
aligned.
vocal cords.
I'm aligned with obviously everything that you guys have said, but
Mhm.
there is a level of, again, the word I wrote first, of fulfillment that equates a level of happiness with myself and with my situation around me and whatever, and loving myself and being comfortable with myself in the situations of overcoming, of confronting and absolutely dealing with those stresses.
Yes.
Not
Yeah,
necessarily.
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I
No,
don't
I'm
know.
not saying just to constantly take it easy. No, they're like
No, I know.
climbing a mountain, getting back on the other side. That's one of the best feelings in the world. You have this huge thing in front of you, like
Right.
having a child or getting married or whatever.
And they're little, but god damn it, dude, they just
Well,
But once you see an obstacle in the way and you're extremely your entire world essentially is taken up by this one thing going on, then you get on the other side of that, you can look back and be like, oh, we solved that,
right.
we're good, we're good.
well, and I didn't include that because I know I'll be fine.
Yeah, but I mean,
Right.
many people are not.
And that
Yeah, no,
knowing
no.
that knowing you'll be fine, kind of, I'm kind of interpreting it as kind of what Alex was just saying, is because you're hitting a level of comfort with yourself. You know yourself. You know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
So you know that whatever that challenge is, that you're gonna have the tools
Yep.
to deal with it and to overcome it. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's maximizing those moments that you're talking about, John, and being that readiness and being prepared and in control. Because then you also don't feel the stress as much either. Things don't hit as hard, you know?
Yes.
Just like when you physically lock up with someone, if I
Right.
mentally lock up with the situation, I'm cool.
Right. You
Right.
have this is a totally different scenario, but it's in the exact same vein if you're talking a financial thing. If you have an emergency fund set up, when your car breaks down, that's locking up with someone that's untrained, right? Like, oh
Yes,
yeah, I've
absolutely.
got it handled,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an inconvenience. It's not a, you know, detriment. So,
Right.
Well, and I feel like even not even financially, I feel like I've started to try to dig into the specific mental skills that even if I don't have the emergency fund, I'll be fine.
Mhm.
yep.
Digging into, meditation and, breath work and
Yep.
the things you can get yourself through and the places you could take yourself mentally, I think are also a huge part of that. Maybe, I mean, for me, more, I don't even think about those other things.
Yeah.
Get-
And that's that I won't go too far into this cuz I have to go in a few minutes, but um I think a lot of the people that are dealing with mental illnesses and stuff like that, me being one of them, a way to get through it, you essentially have to see the other side because you have this thing going on in your head, you have all these stresses, these thoughts of self-hatred and stuff like that, but eventually it may be 2 days, it may be a week, but that you'll be fine, and you have to keep telling yourself that to win that battle, and that goes along with anything. I mean, that goes along
Right.
with training, with setting yourself up for success by having a security fund or um, anything. I mean, anything in life, you have to know that it's going to be better, but you have to work on it to get to that place.
That's the biggest challenge, is the being content with the now,
Yes.
right? That's always the much harder thing, because when you reach the goal, um, there's a next thing,
Yep, always.
right? So you still, you're going to be in the same, which I forget which one of you brought up celebrities and being able to see that they're just as damaged as any
Oh
other
yeah.
person is. But honestly, I I definitely feel like, John, like you said, you feel confident that if you continue on the path you're on, you're living it already. And I
Mhm.
would definitely say that the good life, things that I would write down, I have it. Ray and I had this conversation on, because we're house shopping in a ridiculously volatile market, and that's stressful. So we go on walks and stuff. So we're just talking. It's like, look, we have what anybody else would want, right? If you ask people to list, you know, any person off the street to list what they want, with the exception of maybe riches, I probably have the things on their list, right? So, and
Yeah.
I definitely have the things on my own list. So,
Mhm.
Well, that's so you want to get to the point. Everyone wants to get to the point where you don't even have to have that conversation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like these things present themselves, and you just are like, "That's it."
right,
That's as
yeah,
aroused as you get from it.
right.
Just like, and obviously, I think I drive the wife nuts in this regard, but I can say again confidently, I'm there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like you've got to really, I don't. You got to present me with some nonsense, like some legit crazy nonsense, for me to get up in arms about it anymore.
Yeah.
for sure.
And it
Um,
takes a while. It takes a lot of mindfulness, and
well,
that's
and again,
something.
it's not just because it like came about, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yep,
Right.
Anyone that knows me knows that I'm spending most of my time trying to exploring this place
yeah,
in my head.
Mhm.
dude.
So
One thing that every single person can do, that since COVID hit and everybody was at home, and now we got people back out on, you know, out into the world again and on the roads a lot more. Something that I've absolutely focused on. I've tried it in the past, sometimes more successfully than others, but it never really stuck, and I'm committed to it this time. Dude, stop being mad on the road. That's a real
that's
quick way to make your day better.
yeah,
Stop
for
giving
sure.
a shit about the other people driving around you. Get into the slow lane and
Yep.
Yep.
and
And chill
stay
with it.
there. Yep. If the person in front of you is going slow, well, you know what? Don't leave to give yourself 2 seconds to get to where you need to be on time.
What's it matter?
Yeah,
You're literally going to get there at the same time.
yes.
Uh, we were just driving. Did the stream drop out? Oh no, it lagged.
Yeah, just
We were
like
just driving, and so if I could teach the world maybe a single skill, it would be how to merge
And to use a turn signal.
dude,
on the
how to
onto the
merge.
e-way. Okay. I don't
That's
get
funny.
necessarily why this is a confusing period in people's days, or the fact that people that are merging onto the e-way think it's your responsibility if you're on the e-way to get out of their way.
Right.
So
You are merging. The
they
the
t-
literal word is you are merging. Okay.
and they teach you how to merge in
Yes.
driving class.
So we were driving real quick. I'm in the right lane, not the fast lane. And I'm going 67, 68, and a 65. All right. Guys coming on, for some reason, perfectly just matches my speed.
Oh man.
Awesome.
He
And just
could go
stays next
2
to you.
mile an hour faster. He could go 2 slower, completely fine. He lays on his horn. He's
Like it's
I
your
could see
fault.
him. I
Right.
could see him screaming. He's like doing this sort of thing. And he
Yeah.
drove by, and I just went like this. I just went.
And he
I've-
gave you the finger.
Dude, I've started doing this is
So
what,
he passes real quick. He passes, goes in front of me. I start because I'm on cruise control. I was gonna pass him. Okay.
Yeah.
oh
Like
man.
not even several hundred feet later, not even like down the road. Okay. and he swerves in front of me to make sure I don't pass him, right? Because I was talking to Jack before, and I was like, he's gonna lose his mind if I pass him right now.
Yes, 100%.
And he was like, "Oof." So he's constantly aware of where I'm at.
Exactly. He's in the angry shoes, dude. He's pissed off.
Yep.
He then is going the same way I'm going. So Jacqueline's going like, he thinks you're following him. I'm like, I'm just driving.
Going to my destination.
He's thinking about all these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I end up passing him as I get off. And he doesn't look over at me. He just flips me off.
He's still angry, dude.
I just started dying.
You know, he was mad the
right
rest
there.
of the day about that.
Yes, right there.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Stop. Just stop giving a shit. You know what? This was a lesson that I'm gonna share my own quick lesson. Alex, I know you got to go, but I was being the rude one on the road one time on the highway, right? And the dude ended up getting out of my way, and I passed him, and he had pissed me off so much. And
I look at you?
I looked over, and he gave me a peace sign. He knew I was angry, but he was chilling. He was like, I'm just fucking driving. He was like, hey, man. And I'm like, dang. I'm really mad. And this dude.
Yeah, I'm the asshole.
Right. I'm the ass. I'm like, dang, he was. No, because there was something he ended up getting. He was in the slow lane. He got over. I'm on cruise control, probably going 10 over or whatever. I had to hit the brakes. And then I found out.
There's a cop on here. You can't talk about doing 10
No,
over.
I found out he got over because a cop had someone pulled over. So he got over because he had to,
Yep.
And then he got back. I'm like, damn. And he's like, hey, man. So I do that
It was
now.
like
When
it
someone
was
gets
like the
mad,
one time
when someone's mad, I have done that because of that person. I'm always like, hey, dude.
I'll tell this quick story, and then I gotta go. I really gotta go. I was driving with Ray. Was it Ray? Yeah, no, I think it was Ray. We were driving down Alexis somewhere. I don't know if we were going to like Fresh Time or whatever. This was years ago. But she was sitting in like a right lane and it was a yield, And we were behind a couple people and it was a green light. And Ray starts laying on her horn. Like, get your motherfuckers moving.
She's an angry driver.
Not even
He's aggressive.
not even 2 seconds later, an ambulance and a fire truck go through the intersection.
Man.
She's like, shit.
Yeah, everyone in the whole intersection staring at her.
Yeah.
So this is what you got to do, people listening here. If you struggle with road rage, your homework the next time you drive is to get in the slow lane and be fine with it. All right.
Yeah,
That's it. 100%. TT Slug, sorry, you just whatever you said.
He called you a dick, and
the bot I have set up is a little overprotective. So you might have just said like a random swear word, and it might have just stopped your message. So sorry.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
Hey, dick.
yeah,
Right,
but we can say whatever.
it,
We
we
can't
can say
type it. Yeah,
Right.
We have robots to protect us.
This is a safe space.
Yeah, we don't need police officers. We have robots.
All right, I gotta go, guys. I'll leave you
we'll
too.
call it on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're driving.
Yeah.
Chill out.
Yep.
I promise you.
start
I
to notice
promise
yourself
you will
losing
feel
it,
better. You will
Give
feel
yourself a nice deep inhale and exhale. All right. My daughter watches this show sometimes called Daniel Tiger, and he said, all right, take a deep breath and let it go.
better. Dude.
All right.
Daniel
Boom.
Tiger knows what he's talking about.
For real, that's that's real life philosophy right there. And it's coming from a cartoon tiger.
So,
all right.
They're great.
And ain't just let it go. It's take a deep breath. Let it go. All right.
That's it.
So Frozen got it wrong. Daniel Tiger got it right.
Right on. All right, guys. Alex, if you and Aubrey are, I don't know if you're driving back, drive safe. Hope you had a awesome trip. And
drive safe.
Yeah,
drive
I'll tell you
slow.
guys. I'll tell you guys about it next week.
for sure. Cool. See you guys. Have a good week, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for
everybody.
joining us.
Thank
Chill
you.
out. Drive slow.
That's it. See ya.
Later.